content creation in sport, just like the name says, we are learning about focusing and actually creating content around so many different areas in the sports industry. The way that I teach the class is more so how to plan, prep information, how to create an idea, pitch your idea. But if we're looking at the actual textbook material, you learn about the role of social media in sport, how it may differ across sport levels, so professional sport, niche sport. You learn about fan communities, so on and so forth. But at its core, it's all about content creation. I want to say after week 2, they have their content proposal. So this is where they put together their idea, their voice, their perspective, and what type of content they'll create in a platform that they're using. Then after they do that, they will put together a market analysis. So this is looking at what other individuals that have their topic or closely related. Like, that's the one thing about content creation. Nothing is relatively new, but you just may be adding a wrinkle or a new spin to it. So if someone wants to, post fitness content, what's unique about your fitness content? What are some other creators that you follow or that you see that you can see what works for them or what doesn't work? And after they, pitch their idea, they get my approval, they put together a market analysis and they see what works and what doesn't work. They then spend about two to 3 weeks working on their content calendar. So they have a predetermined number of posts that they have to make during that 5-week period. So they outline what the post will be about, where it'll be located, any hashtags or captions. So I want them to be as detailed as possible, because content creation makes you think that people just wake up, put the camera up, and that's it. But for the most part, it's actually really planned out. And so after they do the content calendar, they shoot a promo video. Everyone has to do a promo video. So this is where their full brand. So I've had students take a comedic route. I've had students do TikTok trends or whatever trend to do that promo video. And then after that, then that's when they start posting for 5 weeks. And every week they upload all of their links into Canvas. I check out their page, give feedback if necessary, but I really let them take full control of those 5 weeks. And after that, course ends, and I always try to do some type of reflection assignment to where students can assess what they did right, what they did wrong, what they would do differently. But then also I want to figure out ways that I can make the class better. So one of the things that I've done now going into, I think, semester 4 of teaching this course is I actually designed a pathway option. So some students want to get into content creation, but they're just not the type of person that they're on social media all the time. So now I actually turned Canvas into a simulated social media feed. And I didn't think a lot of students would take that option, but right now out of 101 students, it's split evenly down the middle. Half of my class are actually creating social media accounts that they'll operate for 5+ weeks, and then I have the other half of the class where they're posting a different type of content each week, and they'll upload it to Canvas where they'll give feedback to each other. So week 1 is blogs, week 2 is an Instagram style carousel, week 3 is a short video, so on and so forth. But again, I'll try to add wrinkles every single semester just to really make it as detailed and nuanced as possible. For me, it's always the progression over the 5-week period. So the students, they spend about the first 7 or 8 weeks of the semester prepping to create content. So they go through pitching their idea, doing a market analysis, so seeing what other people that have a similar topic or similar approach, how they post their content. They build out a content calendar. But it's only 5 weeks of posting content and being able to see, one, the progression in their ideas, how their posts get better, their posts get more engagement. But the biggest thing is being able to see them getting rewarded from it. So whether it's a lot of follows or going viral or receiving a care package or someone with the verified account reaching out to you and giving you inside information, those types of things, that really lets me know that even in this short period of time, that if you take the steps and you do everything right and you have a level of intentionality behind it, the rewards come with the effort. And that's the one thing that I'm always happy about. Well, that's the thing, content can be anything nowadays. It can be something as simple as behind the scenes information. So some folks like to see game prep, whether it's from the players, the facility personnel, equipment staff members. They like to do gaming content. I've had some students who would take their Twitch streams and things like that where they're playing games and they'll talk about sports or stats or things of that nature. Some students have really gone out of the box and they've created content about NASCAR, motocross. I had one student who was really heavy in the outdoors, so hunting and fishing, and that was all of their content. And they found ways to move from YouTube and to put that content in other places. So it's really just about whatever you want to post and whatever your fan community likes. So they run the whole spectrum. Every semester I get 3 to 5 new ideas that I didn't even know was a content idea. And students, they do it, they like it, and then some even continue it after the class. I'm very open to any and all ideas. I have so many students that do like game day fashion. They'll do vintage sport apparel. I've had one person do sneaker reviews. So they would go into like a Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy, Hibbett. They'll try on sneakers and give like their expert review on it. So the concept of sport specifically when it comes to content creation is incredibly broad. I never want to narrow it down to actual in-game performance. So again, I've had students do a little bit of everything. But again, every semester I'm still surprised with the ideas that I receive. So if you can find some way to connect it to some area of sport, whether it's fashion, whether it's nutrition, whether it's trying to see what basketball shot you can recreate or whatever it may be, more likely than not I'm going to tell you yes and you can pursue the idea just because I want to see what the content looks like. I've seen all the basics, so Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but I've also seen some students create their own blogs, some that'll cross-post on multiple platforms, so they'll have a Twitch stream and then they'll take snippets from their Twitch and they'll upload it to TikTok or Instagram. One student wanted to create a Facebook page because their audience was more of a Facebook audience. Some students even created their own websites and found ways to, keep updating and building their website presence. I've had a lot of success just outside of students really enjoying the course. Some students have been able to see themselves turn over into like overnight sensations where they've been able to get some traction. I want to say the very first semester I taught the course, I had maybe 2 or 3 students get care packages or like brand packages from different companies based off of the type of content they created. I've had some students get free gear from college teams and NFL teams. And I think my biggest success story for the class would have to be Cole Mondy. He literally turned into like an overnight viral sensation for creating content about his experience being a new father and a KU football player. And that behind the scenes authenticity really just brings a lot of people in, and it gets that type of content that people like to see. So he's definitely my biggest success story. It's funny, I have friends and colleagues and other people who have now seen his page on social media, and they'll reach out like, hey, is this one of your students? I'm like, yeah, that's one of my students. But I've also had other students who have used this to either go into graduate school and then working in communications or media. I've had other students who have used the content creation component for their internships. So I had one student who worked with basically rodeos, and they did content creation for rodeos and things of that nature. So it's really cool to see how they've been able to turn it into these other things. And one of my students actually texted me this morning. He just received a job offer, and content creation is going to be one of the essential elements of his job offer. Students like it, and that's honestly all that matters to me. The students enjoyed the course, and I have to also give a lot of credit to a lot of the industry professionals that I reached out to figure out what competencies students should learn, what things they should do, what would help them be better professionals as they enter into the industry. But the students like the course, and it hits home even more when students get those elements of success, those elements of validation, or when they go into their career field, they're able to use those planning skills, those communication skills. They say, hey, your class really helped, even if they're not working in content creation. So the biggest thing is making sure that the class actually means something and it has some type of impact on the students, not just within that semester, but all of their time afterwards. The class is offered fall and spring. That's a traditional semester format. I also have a shortened summer version where even though you're not actively creating content, you still learn all of the skills. So you pitch the idea, you do a market analysis, you do all of those things. A lot of the students who have taken the class over the summer have actually used it to prep for their internships, jobs, so on and so forth. So it's a great way. My last thing, just when you're in a class, be who you are, fully creative, let that personality shine, because the ones that are most successful are the ones who are unapologetically themselves.